For 3,000 years, the Nexus Citadel had stood unconquered at the heart of the Andorian sector. Its crystalline walls, forged from compressed neutron matter and reinforced with quantum-locked energy fields, had withstood the fury of dying stars and the combined assault of entire fleets. The fortress floated in the void between three gas giants, its geometric perfection a testament to Zephyrian engineering prowess. Commander Vex Thul of the Galactic Defense Coalition stared at the tactical display with 6 eyes, each one reflecting a different spectrum of frustrated light. The holographic projection showed the Citadel in all its intimidating glory. 12 kilometers of impenetrable architecture that had become the stronghold of the renegade warlord Krathmore and his rebellion. "Status report," Vex Thul commanded, his mandibles clicking with impatience. Lieutenant Korzam, a 4-armed Altarian, manipulated the controls with practiced precision. "Sir, our siege has lasted 47 standard cycles. Plasma bombardment effectiveness, 0%. Quantum torpedo penetration, 0%. Psionic assault success rate, 0%. The lieutenant's voice carried the weight of collective despair. "The fortress remains completely sealed. No communications in or out, no energy signatures, except for the basic life support readings." Vex Thul's tail lashed behind him. Krathmore had holed up inside the Citadel with stolen experimental weapons capable of destabilizing entire solar systems. Every day they delayed meant more innocent worlds at risk, but the fortress seemed genuinely impregnable. "Sir," came a new voice from the communications station. "We have an incoming shuttle requesting permission to dock. Single occupant." "Turn them away," Vex Thul growled. "This is a military operation." "Sir, the pilot claims to be a diplomatic envoy from Earth. Says they have a solution to our situation." Earth. Vex Thul had heard whispers about the newcomers to galactic politics, a young species that had somehow talked their way into the coalition, despite having barely mastered faster-than-light travel. Most considered them a curiosity, bipedal mammals with an inexplicable tendency toward both creativity and destruction. Very well. One meeting. 20 minutes later, Captain Sarah Chen stood in the command center, her simple blue uniform a stark contrast to the elaborate armor and environmental suits of the assembled officers. She was unremarkable by galactic standards, average height, brown hair tied back functionally, with the kind of calm demeanor that either indicated great wisdom or complete ignorance of the situation's gravity. "Captain Chen," Vex Thul began, his universal translator struggling with human vocal patterns. "My officers tell me you have a solution to penetrate the Nexus Citadel. I admit curiosity about what your species believes it can accomplish where the galaxy's finest military minds have failed." Chen smiled, and several officers stepped back instinctively. Humans, they had learned, smiled for many reasons. Not all of them pleasant. "With respect, Commander, you've been thinking about this wrong. You're trying to break in." She gestured at the tactical display. "But what if someone just walked through the front door?" The bridge fell silent except for the hum of life support systems. Finally, a crystalline engineer named Shardek spoke up, his voice like grinding stone. "Captain, the entrance is sealed with 17 layers of security, each requiring different biometric, psionic, and quantum signatures. The probability of unauthorized entry approaches 0. "Approaches," Chen repeated, "but never actually reaches it." She moved to the tactical display and began highlighting sections with practiced ease. "See, humans have this thing about locks. We're really, really good at getting through them. Not by force, usually. By thinking like whoever made them." Chen pulled up detailed schematics she had apparently acquired somehow during the short journey. From her shuttle. The Zephyrians who built this fortress, they're logical, methodical, proud of their engineering. They built a fortress that could withstand any conceivable attack. But they also built it to be operated by people who might need to get in and out. She zoomed in on what appeared to be a standard maintenance hatch near the fortress's base. Emergency protocols. Every Zephyrian structure has them, built into the quantum architecture itself. If life support fails, if the main systems go down, if there's a catastrophic emergency, The fortress has to be able to open itself to allow evacuation. Vexthul leaned forward. You propose triggering a false emergency? Not false. Real. Chen's smile widened. Humans are really good at creating emergencies, too. 6 hours later, the most audacious infiltration in galactic history began. Chen's plan was elegantly simple and completely insane. While the Coalition fleet maintained their siege as a distraction, she approached the fortress in a modified courier ship, alone, unarmed, and broadcasting on every emergency frequency she could access. The key wasn't breaking the locks. It was making the fortress want to open. Chen began by systematically overloading the external sensor arrays with a carefully crafted electromagnetic pulse, not enough to damage them, but enough to trigger diagnostic routines. Next, she released a cloud of nanoscale particles that mimicked the signature of a quantum cascade failure, the kind of disaster that could theoretically collapse a star. Inside the Citadel, automatic systems began registering impossible readings. Quantum flux detectors screamed warnings about dimensional instabilities. Gravitational sensors reported anomalies that suggested local spacetime was becoming unstable. And through it all, Captain Chen transmitted on the emergency bands, identifying herself as a Coalition rescue vessel responding to a distress call. The fortress's artificial intelligence faced a paradox: maintain security protocols, or protect the lives inside by allowing evacuation procedures. Chen had gambled that Zephyrian programming would prioritize preservation of life over tactical advantage. She was right. The massive gates of the Nexus Citadel groaned open for the first time in 3,000 years, emergency lights bathing the void in amber warnings. Chen guided her ship inside, past defenses that had never been designed to stop someone the fortress itself was trying to help. 40 minutes later, Coalition forces received a transmission from inside the Citadel. This is Captain Chen. The front door's open and Krathmore is in custody. Oh, and I think I accidentally fixed their life support system. It was making a, weird humming noise. As Vexthul watched his forces secure the legendary fortress, he made a mental note to review Coalition protocols regarding human diplomatic methods. Perhaps the galaxy's newest species understood something the rest of them had forgotten. Sometimes the most impenetrable defenses could be defeated not by superior force, but by superior understanding of the people who built them. The Nexus Citadel had indeed been impenetrable, until a human decided that the best way through a locked door was to convince it to open itself.